Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for joining me for devotions this morning. We are in Matthew 16 and coming to a pretty important passage. And really, it's the foundation of our faith, the foundation of our church. And if we truly believe this, it should affect the way that we live. So I want us to read together. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked the disciples, "Who do people say that I, the Son of Man, am?" This is kind of like their final exam. You know, most of the time when you take a class in college or a post-grad class or even some in high school, you know, they give you your final exam, and that's kind of a simplified way of telling how much of the material you've understood. So a lot of times it's a smaller group of questions, but that are really focused to find out if you've learned what you should have learned. And that's what Jesus did here. He gave them kind of a final exam. And so he's asking them this question in the area of Caesarea Philippi, which is a place that was like a religious, just this place of like completely infected with idolatry. It was everywhere. The walls of the city had these alcoves where they could put all of their different gods. This was a place of a lot of idolatry. So in the middle of this and being able to look up at the walls and see all these false idols, Jesus looks at his disciples and says, "Who do people say that I am?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist or Elijah, and still others, Jeremiah or one of the prophets." What's interesting about that is all those people were dead. So they're saying, you know, you've come back. You're one of them who's come back. Morning, bud. Getting ready for school? Finish backpacking stuff?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. So they're not denying the supernatural. They believe that there's something about Jesus. He says, "But you," he asked them, "who do you say that I am?" The verb that's used there, "you," is a plural verb. It's kind of like if you were down south saying y'all. Who do y'all say that I am? It's the group of them, a plural verb or plural word. So who do you guys say that I am? Simon Peter answered. I love Simon. He's never afraid to jump up to the front and begin talking or to really step out on a limb. He said, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus responded, "Blessed are you," different word there, this is a singular word, "you, son of Jonah," his formal name, "because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I also say to you that you, singular, are Peter, and on this rock," he doesn't say on your rock or on you rock, because the word Peter means Petros, a little rock. He says, "On this rock," this, not you, "I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overpower it." This is the beginning, what I believe, of the church. This is the foundation of the church. It started with Jesus and his disciples and was empowered at Pentecost. And so Jesus is saying here that this is the foundation of our faith. The foundation of the church is that I am the Christ. I am the Messiah, the one. And the gates of Hades will not overpower it. That's talking about the gates of hell. Some translations put it. And Jesus is basically saying that nothing in heaven or on earth can stop the church. "I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven." There's keys in the church. So Peter's going to be the one who kind of unlocks the church for many people in the future. "And whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." If you read this, it's basically teaching that Jesus is giving them authority to pronounce on earth what's already true in heaven. So they're able to, if someone comes into a relationship with Jesus, they're able to say, "Hey, you know, you're a believer. You're a son of God." Then he gave his disciples orders to tell no one that he was the Messiah. So we've got this final exam. Who am I? Who do people say I am? Who do you say I am? That's right. I am the Messiah. And on that rock, on that word, on that fact is what the church will be built on. The church is built on the fact that Jesus is the Messiah. That's the foundation of the church. And if we believe that, if we truly believe that Jesus is the Messiah, he's the foundation of our faith, then that should affect the way we live. It should affect every area of our life. Because if Jesus truly is the Messiah, then what he said is true. Then we have to accept everything that he said. That will impact the way that we live. It'll impact the words we say. It'll impact the way we treat other people. It'll impact our our everyday walk. It'll impact our weekends going to church and worshiping. It'll impact how we raise our families. It impacts every single area of life when we believe, when we truly believe. It's one thing to say we believe something. It's another thing to truly believe it. So, do you truly believe that Jesus is the Messiah? Do you believe that he is the Son of God? If the answer to that question is yes, then it leads me to the second question. Is your life any different because of it? If it's not, you don't truly believe. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe we have a lot of Christians, people who wear the name of Christian out there, running around wearing that name, and they're not really Christians. They're not really children of God. They're not really saved. So let's examine our own life and see if the fact of what we say we believe, if it really changes the way we live. Father, help us today. Give us wisdom. Help us to allow what we truly believe to impact the way we live. Help us to be the Christians you've called us to be in the community today. We love you, Father, and ask in your name. Amen. God bless you guys. Have a great day.